So today is the last day of the year of the snake. And today's all about like reflection and, well, reflecting on what's gone on in your year of the snake. And it's mad because was it yesterday or the day before? A memory came up on TikTok for me, and it was like an on this day. And it was literally a year ago, and I'd done a TikTok video because it was about this time last year, like a week or two ago, that I started doing them. And this video, it was me, and I was in a low mood, and on it I'd looked in the mirror and I'd said nasty things about myself, and it was just pure like negativity that was I felt about myself, and like I was bringing up and all these things that had happened to me and stuff like that. So I was like, I'd seen a video before and it was talking about like, that today it's all about reflecting. So I'm looking back and I'm thinking to that girl in the video a year ago, to this girl now, and how now like I walk past a mirror and I don't say them things. I see myself differently. And it's mad because at the beginning, of like last year when I started these videos, when I'm on my journey, and, I had the Ibiza thing where like that was a big eye opener. I've had all these multiple realisations about myself. And, like I'm working on like my ego and like, that little victim mentality that crept in. And like that still felt like it had me in a chokehold. It still felt like, even though I'd done so much work on it, it felt like it still was gripping onto me. Like it wasn't letting go, even though I wanted it to let go so much. And a couple of weeks ago, something happened where that victim mentality crept in. But this time, like, I sat with it and I looked at the bigger picture, and like, instead of it being about me, do you know what I mean? I was like, look at the bigger picture. It's not always how we think it is. And it was like, once I'd done that and I'd just sat with myself, I had this big realization, and this big weight just felt like it came, like it just like came off my chest. I don't know what I was going to say then. But I just felt free from it. And this is something that I've had all my life. It's something that has been so hard to let go of. But once that happened, I sat there and I thought of other things that's happened, and my view on them, like after that, was so different. Things that I'd let affect me just wasn't, like, they just didn't affect me. And I was like, I could see from the other perspective. Whereas when you're in that victim mentality, you can't see any further from that. You can't look and, think, right, well, there's this, because it's like, no, like, it's got hold here. And it was just amazing, like that feeling. And then it was like I'd had a dream a couple of days later, and this was like, about like family members, and it was things that I held a grudge towards because like of growing up. And and like I woke up from this dream and I was just like, yeah, but there's no ill intent. Do you know what I mean? It was how I viewed it. And these people, they cared in their own way. And just like I just sat there and I thought, the only person I'm hurting here is myself by holding on to this. So then again, it was just like this big massive weight was lifted from my shoulders. And compared to this video last year where that was like something that was holding me down, and now it's just like I've let it go, and it's so freeing. And it's like, it's emotional because like it's something, I'm like, I don't want to feel like this. Why do I feel like this? And like now it's just like, I don't have to feel like that. So yeah, just like doing my reflections of this year and like, not knowing it was the year of the snake at first. It's only been the past like couple of months where I've learnt about it and I've like heard about it, and and it's mad to think that this is all happening anyway, and then I learn about it and it's all fitted into place. So like, yeah, so for anyone who has been like, doing the work, sit today and reflect on how this year was. Who was you this time last year? Like, luckily I had that video to, help me see. Even though I do see it in ways, but it was like this video was, I could see the difference. And like at first when I wanted to like, do me videos, I felt like, you've got to be there. You've got to be your best version of yourself to help these people, be a wise one, whereas, when like I started doing it, I was like, well, no, because this is my journey as well. And if people are on the same path that I like, well, not my path, but, they're on their own journey trying to better themselves and stuff like that, you've got to see the good and the bad. So it's like, I'm thinking through that journey, it's nice to see that, I let go of that, it's got to be perfect, to, just say what I need to say. And I'll only say something if I feel called to say it. If something inside me says, right, do a video on this, I'm not pressuring myself, I'm not forcing myself to do something, because then it's just not authentic. Then I'm doing something that doesn't feel right for me. But yeah, so yeah, have your reflections today. Think of like how much this year has, how much has happened, what's happened to you, like what do you need to reflect on. And I seen this thing and she was saying, and if there's other things that you want to let go of, write them down, and then as the year of the fire horse comes in, burn them. But yeah, it's really amazing. And I'm really grateful, because like at first I thought, oh, the year of the snake, like it's bad because it's got like, there's loads of bad things that we've got to get rid of. But I'm so grateful for this year. Like I am so grateful for like every experience, and I've had some amazing experiences as well, but every single one, even the bad, even the dark ones, I'm so grateful for every single one of them. And it's a bit bittersweet because like I feel like I'm letting go of that past version of myself, that old version, the version who felt like, she had to be who everyone wanted her to be, not who she truly was. And I really feel like I'm coming into the, my authentic self and being myself. But I'm so excited to see what is to come for the year of the fire horse. And for everyone who has been fighting every day, because this year's not been easy. Do you know what I mean? It's been chaotic. But, yous have all still pushed through, and yous are going to come out the other end. So, yeah. Thanks for listening.